Hey guys, I am refilming this video for the millionth time because I want to be fairly concise with the video and to the point. Recently, somebody did a video on the Hidden Woodsman as a brand, and there was so much silliness and foolishness that it has encouraged me to create a video in response to him to talk about some of the things that I like about the Hidden Woodsman that I have been wanting to find a way to talk about for quite some time. Now, since we're talking about backpacks, I want to talk a little bit about my experience and background and why high quality backpacks are so important to me. In the military, I was an infantryman, and more specifically, I was airborne in a cavalry unit doing a scout's job. Pretty weird, right? It's called RISTA, but basically I was a recon guy. And man, I saw a lot of bags fail. And here's the deal in the military. Back in the day, there were basically two popular, affordable brands of packs that had somewhat decent reputations. It was Bug Out Bag and Condor. And Bug Out Bag was absolute rubbish. It was sold in all of the little stores and stuff like that, but it was absolute trash. Condor was better and got vouched for by a lot of people, but when the rubber hit the road, it fell apart. So, and this was a long time ago, so I'm not speaking of any current quality, and I don't know what Condor is doing right now or if they still exist. Just for the record, this is a long time ago. Anyways, you would see these bags in the field from new privates or from people who are not combat arms. And what would happen if you're not combat arms and you're not out there doing the thing, usually you've got these guys in support roles, they are staying in a little bit better environments, but sometimes they'd come and get attached to us. So either you've got a private out here with a Condor or a Bug Out Bag, or you've got a guy who's not a combat arms guy who's attached to us for the first time, and the bags would fall apart, guys. One trip to the field, you'd have stitches pulling loose all over the place, you'd have holes, and not only that, but when you packed the bag up with your required packing list and it was heavy and you had to go out and live out of it, you would have back problems and other issues because the bag is poorly designed. So a high quality bag is really an investment, and being that a lower quality bag might last you one or two hard trips, but a high quality bag will last you a lifetime, it's a very cheap investment. So you're typically in the military at that time, your line guys, your infantry guys who are more interested in a high quality bag that was a little bit better than what was issued to us would get Gray Ghost Gear or Tactical Tailor, two other brands that I am very fond of. And I'll talk more about them later when I talk about value. But from here, I want to segue into this guy's video. I think it's Mount Kephart Outdoors. You know, I'm not scared for him to grow from negative attention. Some people, I've always been told that, don't actually mention. I don't care. I don't care. I can't imagine being so afraid to help somebody that you're afraid to, whatever. Let's get into some of the things that he said.
And like I always say on this channel, you know, there really is a difference between American owned, American operated, and American made, right? And here's another example of that. Now, I'm not going to go all the way and say that his products aren't made here in the United States, because the truth is I really don't know. There is speculation that some of his products are made overseas. Now, whether or not that's true, again, I do not know. I don't have firsthand knowledge on whether or not some of those products are. I do know if you look at his own literature, it's worded very strategically in regards to certain pieces of gear. You will find things like handmade by Malcolm, right? Or made in the USA on a couple other pieces of gear. You're not going to find it on all his stuff. Now, as far as I know, he boasts that all his product is made here in the USA. And for clarification, I do not know if it is or if it isn't.
Is it made in the USA? I don't know. There has been speculation. So, here's the deal. This guy had everything. Go to his Instagram, go to his YouTube channel. He's got the Hidden Woodsman plastered all over every video, product placement everywhere. Even on Instagram talking about, like, if you need some real heavy duty gear, get the Hidden Woodsman, whatever. And then he makes this video with, there is speculation. I have never heard any speculation of the Hidden Woodsman being produced overseas. And this is my community. These bushcraft guys and stuff like that, the people that often wear the Hidden Woodsman. I go to Georgia Bushcraft, you'll see or Blade Show, you'll see 150 Hidden Woodsman bags. Like, this is my genre. I've never heard anybody wonder about this. The reason that you have who made the bag specified is because Malcolm has a manufacturer in the USA, local to him, but he also still makes for himself. So he specifies so that people know either this is handmade by me or it's made by my manufacturer. This seemed like a really underhanded way to start this video, and it set the tone for what looks less like a review and more like blackmail or something. Like he's hoping to grow his channel by, I don't know, leveraging companies into supporting him or something. It's freaking weird. Let's go on to the next clip.
A lot of people are under this delusional myth that his products are waterproof. They are not. They are water resistant, and depending on which product you purchase from that company will dictate what level of water resistance it has. His bags are not waterproof. If you use his bags in the rain, your gear and the bag will get wet. Knowing that, one of the cons to purchasing a bag from him is that it doesn't come with just simple rain gear bag, right? Now, these you can pick up very cheap, yes, and add it to your kit to make sure that your Hidden Woodsman bag doesn't get completely saturated and soaking wet. This is something that I really do believe should be supplied with all his bags, and it's not. But at the price tag of over $200 with shipping, that's really something that should absolutely come with all his bags, not just his 23.
A lot of people are under the delusion that the bags are waterproof. Nowhere in his advertisement does Malcolm say the bags are waterproof. Nowhere in any review does it say the bags are waterproof. Once again, anybody who is under the impression that the bags are waterproof is simply uneducated for no reason. Now, the products that Malcolm uses, he uses 500 denier and 1000 denier Cordura nylon. For this industry, that is the best stuff to use. It is very water resistant. And I found it interesting that he's harping on this and changing his point on this from going, it's water resistant, so it's going to resist some water, and then he'll turn around and be like, and then your bag will be soaking wet. Cordura doesn't get soaking wet. It has a coating on it, and it doesn't really hold water. I will say that throughout the military, I lived out of a bag for a long time in absolute downpours in rainstorms where I had no cover and I was out for hours in it and on deployment. And there were times where my gear in my 1000 denier Cordura nylon bag did get wet, but it was not very often. And the regular person out on a little adventure with one of these packs, any of these packs in Cordura nylon, very likely their gear is not going to get wet. Now, he asserts that at this price point, the bag should come with a waterproof cover. In Malcolm's range of products, I have never, ever seen any bag come with a waterproof cover. It is not an industry standard. It is not something that should be expected. And in my opinion, it is not something that is at all necessary. Now, if you're doing these kind of adventures, a little pro tip here that again I learned from the military: if you're doing these kind of adventures and you don't have a poncho, you're already wrong. The poncho is the absolute number one piece of high value, ultra versatile gear that you could carry, and you should have one. So if you find yourself in a downpour where you're just out in an absolute thunderstorm, you throw your poncho over you and your bag. You don't need a waterproof cover because you should already have a poncho. But in saying this, he's again acting like this is an industry standard that Malcolm is not doing so that he can just make more money. It's not an industry standard. Nobody that I know of does it. So I don't know what the crap the guy's talking about.
What it really comes down to is the price tag worth what you're actually receiving. Now, we talked about how he has worked for over 10 years building that lore, that romantic side to his brand. And I think that a lot of people that purchase his products are really caught up in that because he's done such a good job of really making it that, right? When we look at bags that size with the materials that were used and with the features that that bag comes with, not being waterproof but water resistant, not having a sternum strap, you really can find other products in the $50 range, $45 range, $60 range. Are you buying a high quality, high ticket, high quality item when you purchase from the Hidden Woodsman? The materials that he uses are high quality. That doesn't mean that they're the best. It just means that the materials that he chooses are high quality. You're buying that tag. That's what you're purchasing. You're purchasing the label, the Hidden Woodsman. If your wallet allows you that type of freedom to pick up and buy and make purchases based off of name brand notoriety, and you really want to be that guy that stands out, that has that tag, by all means, spend your money there. What I do here on the channel is I like to give realistic, truthful reviews. Is the bag good for what it is? Absolutely. Is the price for that bag over the hill and down the road at over $200 with shipping? 100%. It is not a financial purchase that makes sense.
Now, this next point, is the bag worth the money? He says that there are multiple options on the market for similar bags that range from $45 to $60. I am here to tell you that there is no option on the market that you can buy new, made in the USA, for $45 to $60. There's not even a similar option of this size made in the USA for $45 to $60. If you buy yourself a new military surplus bag, it's going to cost you probably $200. If you're going to buy a Grey Ghost gear or tactical tailor bag, on average it's going to cost you about $100 more than the Hidden Woodsman, and those are, in my opinion, his most closely comparable bags. So this was not a slight manipulation or misunderstanding of the market or the product. This is an outright lie.
And I'm going to point out a couple design features about this bag that you really should be concerned about, especially if you're paying that $300 price tag. One of the things is this is a rather large bag. One of the design features of this bag that just really stick out right away is this. Now, I guess this is an attempt at a kidney strap, right? It's not padded. This absolutely should be padded for that type of money. 100%. So this was a design feature that he went with to lower the cost, manufacturing cost for him. With a bag this size, that should be padded. The other issue that I have with this bag design-wise is that the overall length this way is too short. Should be about another 3 to 4 inches longer. I have a long torso, and I know I'm not the only one. And what this bag wants to do when you wear it is it wants to ride really high on your back. What ends up happening is you end up having this strap somewhere in here, right? Now, I know there's going to be guys, well, that's where it should be. That's where I like it. Well, if you're packing ultralight gear and you're walking long distances and you're a thin build guy, by all means, if that's where you really want your kidney strap up above your navel, in the middle of your stomach, go for it. But the reality is that you want some kind of padded strap on a bag this size that's going to sit somewhere in your higher lumbar. And you want that to be padded and comfortable. The bag, just by the nature of its size, is going to pack a significant amount of gear, and that gear is going to be heavy.
Wrapping up my points on my response to his video, which I'm glad that he did this video because it gives me an opportunity to talk about these things that I've wanted to talk about. Believe it or not, when doing videos, it can be hard just to make a video to say what you want to say if it's just a little thing or whatever. But he talks about the large bag being too large to carry the amount of weight that it can potentially carry. He talks about the kidney belt, etc. So like on my Gray Ghost gear bag, it has a similar waist kidney strap with no padding. This is why it's so important to pay attention to who you watch reviews from or who your influencer is or whatever else. Because the guy doesn't understand the intent of the bag. Just because a bag is larger doesn't mean it's meant to be filled to capacity with heavy gear. If a bag does not have a frame, it is a lightweight bag. If a bag does have a frame, it needs a padded kidney belt. So you can have a smaller, like he mentions, a smaller Model 23 backpack for the summer, but in the winter, you can carry mostly the same gear, but you have to add a giant sleeping bag. That giant sleeping bag doesn't add very much weight, but it takes up so much space. So you need a bigger bag, right? So you can buy a lightweight, bigger bag that still doesn't have a frame, and you can still go out and do your lightweight backpacking. If you buy a large frameless bag and you use it as a rucksack, you're using a product in a way other than it's intended because you don't understand the product. The fact that the bag sits so high on your back, that is one of the things that led me to the Hidden Woodsman, because bags that hang low on your back are absolutely terrible for your back, terrible for your load placement. That kidney belt that's unpadded, I am glad for that, okay, because on a lightweight bag, sometimes you want a kidney belt, sometimes you don't. If you actually were to if he were to actually find himself using his bag, going on a 12 to 16 mile movement through the woods with gear, living out of a bag, he would realize that sometimes when you're going up and downhill and through brush and everything else, you want to strap that on, you want to tighten it, you want to loosen it, you want to take it off, you want to put it back on. But it is not something that you're constantly using, and you want it to be lightweight. Having it rest higher helps with your mobility, with bending over, with lifting your legs up high. I'm guessing that this guy has never walked up a hill with his bag. He's making excuses for his fat gut. I mean, bro, there are fat people in the military too. Good geometry on a pack is good geometry on a pack. It also keeps that kidney belt out of the way of your gun, which is kind of important. Whether you are doing appendix carry or carrying a fanny pack, it's nice to have a little bit of distance between your kidney belt and your bag. But again, we are talking about a frameless pack. You're going to have a lower kidney belt on a rucksack that is meant for carrying more weight. We're talking grenades, ASIP radios, tons of water, tons of food, ammunition, medical supplies. That crap is all crazy heavy. So with that, you're going to lower your kidney belt. You have a frame, and it's a different design for a different setup. A lightweight pack is not intended for that. Vouch your people. All right, so to wrap this up, guys, I want to say my wife's diaper bag for our first son, when we got done using it after a year or two, all of the stitches were coming out of it, and I noticed, even with a diaper bag, it was irritating. You'd carry it a long ways at the zoo or something like that, get kind of tweaked unnecessarily. I bought the day bag, or EDC rucksack from Malcolm for my wife for her diaper bag, and we've been using it ever since, and it's an amazing bag. I originally started using the Hidden Woodsman bags because although I really like Gray Ghost Gear and Tactical Tailor, I like that the Hidden Woodsman bags were cheaper. They were more simple, and I liked that. And they were still made of top quality product materials. ITW made in the USA Nexus buckles that are absolutely beefy, and they last a long time, and thick, real Cordura nylon. You pick up one of these cheaper bags, it's lighter. Once you get used to high quality buckles, you can feel instantly when a bag has lower quality buckles. Those buckles will dry out over time and crack for almost no reason, even if there's not a lot of load and tension being put on them. All of this stuff that Malcolm does, I would never make you a bag at the price that he sells bags for. At $200 for the Model 23, it's a steal, and I would encourage you, if you question what it costs to make one, for you to make a bag for yourself. I wish people were making and selling more stuff and making their living off of selling stuff, because people would understand all of this a whole lot better. But right now, his Model 23 bags are on sale for $95, which I can't even understand. But there's a reason that made in the USA bags, made out of 500 or 1,000 denier Cordura with high quality buckles and everything, there's a reason they're all expensive. It's not because they're all greedy, it's because it's freaking expensive to make. So is it worth it? I have like 10 of his bags. I've been using them for like 10 years. Again, the simplicity, the good designs, and the thickly padded shoulder straps are why I keep coming back, and the value. Do I need 10 the Hidden Woodsman bags? I don't. I really don't. But I like small business. I like craftsmen. I like artists. I like that he's offering different colors, so I want to support him. And then I see different bags, and I pull the trigger. It's not what I need to do, but I legitimately really like his products. And every year when he has a sale, I buy a bunch of stuff and a bunch of his smaller pouches and stuff so I can give them out as gifts. A quality bag is not an expensive thing. You know, even if you spend $300 or $400 on a bag, which if you get into hiking, you'll see $400, $500, $600. Hill People Gear is a much larger brand that can produce at a much better cost, I'm sure, than the Hidden Woodsman. You can pay like $600 for some of that. The Hidden Woodsman is a bargain. It is a bargain. So if I just keep rambling, this is never going to end. I want it to be somewhat concise. I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I have told everybody for like 10 years that I recommend the Hidden Woodsman. I love his product. I think that this Mount Kephart dude is a moron. I think that he is just looking to stir people up to try and grow his channel. And I even think that he is trying to somehow manipulate the Hidden Woodsman, because it's so weird. Even after doing this video, he still product places the Hidden Woodsman in all of his videos and stuff. There's some weird crap going on over there. So there you guys go. I would never have even heard of this guy if my buddy at Junkyard Fox didn't do a video. I'm sure nobody else would have heard of this guy either. It's kind of a weird deal. But the Hidden Woodsman bags, my favorite two brands are the Hidden Woodsman and Combat Art Training. And if I didn't have those guys, every one of my bags would be Tactical Tailor and Gray Ghost Gear. but I would probably only have the same number of Gray Ghost Gear and Tactical Tailor bags that I already have, because I was never, I never wanted to buy more than one of them. I had my bag and I was good to go, but I love the Hidden Woodsman, so I keep buying. And that's what it is, guys. That's like I've never been a brand ambassador for the Hidden Woodsman. I never have been. And I probably never will be. That's okay, because I don't really do good with brand ambassadorship and affiliate links and all of that crap anyways. I am telling you right now, if you want a good piece of gear at a good value that's well designed, that's simple, you're going to get the Hidden Woodsman. You're going to get it for your kids. You're going to get it for your wife. When you start doing movements and carrying a bag a long way, you'll start seeing the value. When it doesn't wear out, you'll start seeing the value, and you'll think to yourself, man, this one Hidden Woodsman bag that lasted as long as 4 or 5 other crappier bags, this thing was a bargain. And you probably got to get it in your favorite colors or camo pattern too, because he's offering custom options, because he's one of us. He's an enthusiast and he cares about that. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. I think it's a shame that this Dutch guy has decided to act like an honest influencer while not only doing videos beyond his depth of understanding, but also being like weird and manipulative about it. You know, it's a bummer, dude. That's not how you want to make your name. Go out there, get the experience, get the training, go down to Randall's Adventure training, go take an advanced bushcraft class, start getting some actual experience in your life, and then build from that experience into videos to help your viewers. Guys, think about why people do YouTube videos. Most people do not do YouTube videos to help their viewers, but that's why they should be doing their videos, and that's what they want you to think that they're doing. So, all right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Y'all have a